Okay. I've tried to script this video so many times now, and I can't. You just can't. Obviously, I haven't uploaded for like 3 weeks now. My auntie died. She had the virus and then she died. And so many people have been messaging me and commenting on my Instagram, asking me where I've been and why I've not uploaded anything. I don't know why I seem to be so important to so many people. I literally just sit in front of a camera and talk. Anyone can do it. And now someone who I love, who I haven't seen in 11 weeks, is gone. I will never see her again, or even hear her voice. And people I don't even know are asking me why I'm not making stupid jokes about current affairs. Doesn't get any more current than this. A global pandemic took my auntie Meredith. And a global pandemic means I can't go to her funeral. And a global pandemic means that I can't even get on the tube to go and give my mum a hug. And she's just lost her little sister 50 years too early. I can't make any sense of that. And I certainly can't make a joke out of that. I try to stay positive on this channel, diffuse tough situations, crack a joke, break the tension. God, there's not a stupid way of saying things. Break the tension, like, in order to fix something you have to snap it in half first. Some things can't be fixed. If you smash a glass and you try and pick up all the tiny pieces, you're going to get hurt. Life is not all sunshine and rainbows. Maybe none of it is. I'm not in a great place. Grief is painful. It's like physically painful. I feel a pull. I feel it like here. Like a piece of elastic or rope is tied around my insides, and it's attached to a car driving 100 miles an hour northeast, and my body just wants to rebound back to her, just for one last hug, or I don't know, just even just a phone call. It's really tiring and time consuming. I didn't know that someone could take up so much of my time. 3 weeks feels like a lifetime. And it feels like COVID hasn't just taken away my auntie, but it's also taken away my right to grieve in the way that I need to. It's not fair. It's not fair. When I found my groove in this channel, my aim was to provide a different view on current affairs and to promote positive change in individuals, in you, through just a little change of perspective. This has changed my perspective, and at least for now I think I need a little break. But please take this virus seriously. My auntie Meredith was a healthy young woman, and she of all people should have been able to fight this, but she couldn't. So please wear a mask for everybody else as well as for yourself. Use hand gel, wash your hands, and don't go out unless you really have to. It's not worth it.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So in America, when they play hide and seek, sometimes they shout this.
Marco Polo?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the president of America and he did some bad things. I'm thinking like
Richard
Watergate.
Nixon.
Oh, move it down a bit. Can't see that. I don't know who that is. Skip it.
Right, I'm really looking forward to this, you know.
Oh,
One.
I'll eat his liver with some beans and a nice Chianti.
Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, the actor.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, it's done though.
So out of 7, we got 2.
No,
So,
we got more than that.
No, we got 2. No thanks to you.
Yeah, I tried.
Anyway, marks out of 10 for distraction?
10.5.
Quids in.
Oh, and that Nebula app, that was really good yesterday as well.
Yeah. You didn't have anyone complaining about you being on your phone?
People don't really take that much notice of me anyway.
I find that hard to believe. Were all your family there?
Obviously, my mum and her family, Dad and Harry. Oh, and one of Mum and Mary's cousins said she watched the video.
But did she say anything else?
She said I had no right to post it.
What?
She said I didn't know Meredith as well as she did, and that she wouldn't want it to be public, and that I should stop telling people what to do, which is rich coming from the only person there not wearing a mask. And she kept getting in my 2-meter zone, which was really fucking me off, because that's Mary. That's how she caught fucking corona. What are you trying to do? Get the rest of us with it?
Yeah, if you're at a socially distanced funeral thing, the 2-meter distance is literally in the name.
And how dare she? How dare she say I did not know my auntie as well as her? The woman practically brought me up. She was more like my sister. And this other woman, I haven't even seen her in like 12 years.
Sounds like a bitch.
Yeah. I'm so angry. I'm angry at her, and then I'm angry at myself, and then I'm angry at Mary, and then I'm angry at myself again, because why am I angry at Mary? She didn't even do anything wrong. But I am. I'm mad. I'm mad at her for leaving. I'm mad at her for being dead. I'm mad at her for not being here when I need her the most. God, I'm so fucking selfish. That's so selfish.
Okay. It's okay to be angry. And you probably got people telling you shouldn't regret anything as well, but actually it's okay to regret stuff too.
I should have been there. I should have seen her.
You couldn't. Your regret is valid, but your guilt isn't. You can't be guilty for things you can't control.
It's like I have all these thoughts running around my head, and it's weird because it's like they're really fast, but then they're really muted. I can't explain it. It sounds crazy.
Crazy. That is exactly my territory. Okay, hit me. I want you to take one of those crazy whirling thoughts and hit me with it. Okay.
Cal, what's that on your hand?
Oh, it's nothing. I grazed it. Come on, give me crazy thoughts. Come on.
You tell me yours first.
I punched a wall.
Who started it? You or the wall?
Can we just carry on with our conversation, please?
We are carrying on with our conversation. It's a natural progression. You just said you punched a wall, and I'm asking you why. So, Cal, why did you punch a wall?
Because I was angry. They're talking about discharging me.
Oh, that's great, but I thought your section was like 6 months or something.
Yeah, but you can finish your section at home, or they can cancel it early if they think you're doing well.
Okay. Punching walls isn't exactly a good sign that you're doing well. Do you not want to leave?
No, it's not that.
Because up until now, I thought you actually wanted to get out. Up until now, actually, you've made me feel pretty fucking bad for not wanting to leave my flat. And what, you just want to stay on the crazy ward now, do you?
No, it's
You're just going to get a little bit better. And then when people think that they can depend on you, you're just going to prove them wrong. When I think that I can depend on you, obviously,
Devin,
I'm
will
wrong.
you just calm down and listen to me?
You know what, Cal? You just said I can be angry, so here you go, Cal. I'm fucking angry.
You finished. I'll make you feel better.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's okay.
No, it's not. You've been really great, and I'm sorry.
You're grieving. It's okay.
How can you just give me a free pass like that? I'm grieving so I can go completely schizo, flip out at you, and it's fine.
Well, it's not fine, but I do understand. I've not always been the best company, and yet you've always been there for me. Look, it's late, and you're tired, and yesterday was really, really hard. We can hang up now and talk about it in the morning, okay? And text me if you need me overnight, yeah? Devin, you can still depend on me. Good night.
Hello to my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's me, Devin. What a long way we've come. So I was thinking recently about when I started this channel, why I started it, what it became. For those of you that have been following me for a long time, you'll remember some of my oldest videos. Most of these are now on private because they are just too embarrassing to be up on free media. But essentially, everybody starts out the same. They have an idea, no clue how to execute it, so you just try everything. My goal from the get-go was always to try and engage people and create positive change. I tried jokes, I tried vlogs, I tried makeup tutorials, I tried tags, you name it, I tried it. And then eventually I found my groove and off I went. And then my whole world shattered. I thought I would come back on it and kind of like a do-over, because I've really missed it. I've really missed my interactions with you guys. I've missed chatting with you in the comments. So here I am. 10 things no one told you about grief. Number 1, it does not get easier. Imagine the ball is grief and the square is your life. When it first happens, when you lose someone, the ball takes up all the space. Every time it nudges the side, a fresh wave arises. It hurts. It kind of burns on your emotions. Then your life continues and it gets a bit bigger. You grow around the grief. It's still there and it still moves around, and every time it touches the edges of your life, it still hurts just as much, like a hot poker in your throat. It's not getting any smaller, and it's no less painful, and the thing is, I'm sure it will touch the sides less and less, but it won't get easier. It won't get smaller. I'll just have to grow around it. It won't take up any less space. Life just expands. Number 2, you will have regrets, and that's okay. It's okay to regret stuff, but it's not okay to then feel guilty about those regrets. Confusing, I know, that's what I first thought when my friend Cal told me. But if you've been where I am, you will understand. On to number 3. Usually when people say, I completely understand, it actually means they have no fucking clue. People will say a lot of shit, and it will really get to you. 4, platitudes will make you sick. You are such a good niece. You're so brave. She's in a better place. Firstly, I could have been a devil child for all you know. Secondly, I have no other choice but to keep living through her death. And thirdly, no, she's not. A better place would be COVID-free at my mum's house, watching Princess and the Frog, planning a trip to New Orleans. Not 6 feet under or purgatory or anywhere that's away from me. Number 5. Generally, the people who apologise when you cry, they apologise because they're uncomfortable. The one that I've heard more times than I can count is, she wouldn't want you to cry. No, actually, my Auntie Mary was a very kind, compassionate, loving lady, and she would be very understanding of me crying right now. Someone who I love very much has died, and it's okay to cry. It is also, number 6, okay to laugh. Shout out to my friend Cal here, who has made it his mission not only to let me cry every day, but also to make me laugh. Mary would want me to keep having fun, so I will try, and I will keep laughing for her. Number 7, ritual is important. It's been so hard to grieve normally throughout this crisis. People are being turned away from funerals. Funeral homes are refusing to take COVID bodies. Families are having to choose who gets to go and say goodbye. Mary died alone. It's so important for some people to go to their loved ones and say goodbye and hold their hand as they go. It's so important for some people to set off lanterns or unveil a headstone, or I don't know, have a horse-drawn carriage with loads of people crying and flowers. For some other people, it's enough just to have somewhere to go and think about them. But having a way to get out your tears, a cathartic way to feel all those feelings, that's so important. 8. Always feel your feelings, even if they're horrible. Sometimes you just have to fall apart. Be honest about how bad it feels. Only then can you start to move away from the pain and start to feel something a little bit nicer. 9. People will forget so quickly. They're fast to hop onto Facebook and give long lamentations about how beautiful they were and that they were too young. But ultimately, once the funeral is over, once the body's gone, they forget. They'll expect you to smile and to feel how they feel back to normal. But you can't go back to normal because you're a new person now. And 10, the 10th thing that they don't tell you about grief, and this one's a funny one because I always thought grief was such a negative thing. Number 10 is what grief actually is. It's just love. It's love, but with nowhere to go. COVID has had such a huge effect on hundreds of thousands of people's lives. They've lost their jobs. Some people have lost family members. Some people have even lost their lives. But we haven't lost our humanity. We haven't lost the ability to care for one another. We all just need to try a little bit harder. Reach out to others, especially if you know they're alone or they've lost someone. You're not going to make anyone cry by bringing up their grief. They'll probably welcome the space to talk about it. If there's one thing that I've learned in the last few months, it's that we have to start taking more responsibility for other people's well-being. I mean, for example, if someone wants to end their life, why would they reach out for help? It's our responsibility to offer the help. It's the same with everything. It's so hard to struggle through day by day. It's like you're constantly looking at the ground for pieces of broken glass. But if someone comes along and places down a mat or offers a hand or a cup of tea, a video call, a silly game, anything, it gets so much easier to take the next step.
Hi everyone. I still find it weird talking to people I can't see, but Devin, I know a lot of you watch me because you watch her. She says you should address your audience directly, so hello everyone. I've never really talked about my past here. Well, I never really talk about it at all. It's mainly just grey space, but now that I'm thinking about my future, it's necessary to explain a few things. I come from a nuclear family. Mother, father, brother. Yeah. Successful. Mum was an events planner, dad has his own estate agency, loads of properties, loads of money. My brother was perfect. A's across the board, has his own company, a house, a car. I think he might be married now. I'm not part of that family. I don't think I ever really was. I also think some people just aren't cut out for life. I never made plans. after sixth form, everybody went off to university or started earning so they could pay their way through. I just drifted. In life, I think if you don't show up, you drop out. I dropped out. My dad got me a job lower down at his company, just bumming around these empty properties, taking inventories, checking locks, ticking boxes. So much stuff gets left behind. Some of these people would have rent arrears and Dad just evicted them. Anyway, I stopped turning up. I mean, I didn't have set hours to work, but things wouldn't get done. Work piled up. I got let go. Kicked out like those families whose belongings I waded through. People have told me that I'm lazy or work shy. They've told me that I have nothing to be depressed about, that I walked away from a perfect life. But having money and a family doesn't give you protection from mental illness. There was no big event, no dramatic argument. One day I walked out of the family home and didn't come back. I'd made attempts before, actual attempts. I'd gone out and bought supplies to use to kill myself. It never worked. Those parents would scoop me up from whatever A&E they found me in, put me up for a couple of days, and then push me out the nest again. My brother was so jealous about all the attention I was getting. So resentful. He said, "You can't do anything right. You can't even kill yourself properly." Which is true, I couldn't. So I stopped trying. Didn't keep trying to die. Just stopped trying to live. Didn't eat, didn't sleep, overslept, underslept. I don't know how long this went on, but it must have been months. I woke up in this white, sterile environment with a tube in my nose and in my wrist and wires on my arms and on my chest. And my brother on the phone. "We're done. We can't help you, and you've done this too many times. It's time to sink or swim, Callum. Goodbye." And the rest, well, you've kind of had a front row seat for. Being admitted, my section escalating, and the hospital have been wanting to keep me for longer and longer and longer. I've been through 3 sections. Have I shared that? 36 hours, 30 days, 6 months, and then last week, a court who didn't even meet me decided that my section could end early. Then out I go into the big wide world again with no home, no plan, no job, nothing. Just one friend. You only need one friend to believe in you, to tell you that your life is worth living. And right now, my one person is really mad at me. My psychiatrist said, "Get ready to go home, Cal," smiling like it's this really great thing. Yay, they're releasing me out into the wild. But my habitat was destroyed a long time ago. That's why I can't go home. Devin, look, I should have said this sooner. The other day, I should have told you instead of deflecting, and I'm sorry. But you need to know that I didn't do it because I wanted to hurt myself. I was just feeling angry and scared, and instead of reaching out to you, I reached out and... Well, anyway, it's not because I don't want to leave here. And 2 months ago, I would have given my right arm and my left and my legs and my whole life just to be free. But that was when I didn't care what happened next. That was when I wanted to die, and now I want to live. I care now, and I care because you care, and because you're my friend, and because I value you so, so much. I'm sorry for not telling you about my section ending and them wanting to discharge me. It's just been so many years since anybody's actually cared, and I've not felt scared like that in so long, and it was just a minor blip. That's all it was. I'm okay. I'm sorry for not trusting you and telling you sooner. That's it.
Cal, do you realise what you just said?
Yeah, I said I'm sorry, and I mean it.
No. You just said that you want to live.
Well, I do. You deserve an explanation, though. I want to leave. I want to live. I want to decide on a favourite food. I want to stroke some cats. I want to rush out to the washing line when it starts raining. All that stuff. But I don't have anywhere to live. I don't have any money. I don't have a family.
I watched your video. I had no idea. You never told me about your family. Well, I never asked, and I'm sorry.
People talk about being on their own when they attempt suicide, not having anyone to live for. But then you come round and your friends and family rally and they notice you're not around and they try and find you, and you realise you're not alone. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes you really are alone. Sometimes I wonder how many people I left behind. I wonder how many people needed me and I just left them.
You'd know. There would be signs.
You can tell when somebody's depressed usually, yeah. They're angry or sad, they don't do stuff, they stay in bed, cry, punch walls. But the later warning signs for suicide they can just seem like someone's getting better, you know? Sudden changes in mood, being really positive all of a sudden and giving away their possessions.
How can being happy be a sign for suicide?
Not being happy, just a sudden shift in mood. You understand? You know that your suffering's about to end. You take back control of your situation and you get this sense of calm. I was so detached from everyone and everything, I don't even know if I left a trail.
I never asked you about any of this the other night. And your video, it made me think about how scared I was not that long ago.
You've been coping with your Aunt Mary's death. Grief can be really like a black hole. You get a free pass.
No, Cal, that's very sweet, but no, I do not get a free pass. God, when I was watching your video, it was like I could hear her talking to me over my shoulder saying, "What are you doing? Why are you both trying to cope alone? At least cope alone together." I found a new app for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called Calm Harm. It's about trying to ride the wave of self-harm. You know, maybe you could try it next time. I don't know, give the wall a fighting chance.
Calm harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Can't believe they can just end your section like that without any help or anything.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the sum of it. Helen was talking to me about it for ages. Normally, they'd set me up with a social worker, pass me over to the community team, get me set up in a place, applications for benefits and more OT stuff. There's meant to be this community centre with a really beautiful garden, but it's all closed because of COVID.
Okay, well, I don't know. What about the community team?
Well, they can do a handover to crisis while the referral's getting sorted, but who knows how long that's going to take. The crisis only works with you for 6 weeks anyway, and I still won't have a social worker.
Right. That's shit. Is that shit? Because that sounds shit.
Yeah, it's pretty shit. And they've only got access to all this emergency accommodation anyway, which is normally for homeless people. So it's all shared. There's no locked doors, no privacy, and no social distancing. So I'm probably going to catch COVID and God knows what else.
And that's because why?
COVID. Helen says they'd prefer to put me in an emergency housing referral and get me in a council flat, but who knows how long that's going to take. And because of social distancing, crisis can't even come and see me in person anyway.
Right, so someone with depression who's just recently been sectioned can just get thrown into the abyss of some shitty, dirty shelter for fuck knows how long, and what? They just expect you to keep getting better, because that doesn't exactly sound like a recipe for happiness to me.
They need my bed.
I'm going to do some digging because I refuse to accept that.
Well, that's not going to get you very far. My discharge date's already set for next Friday. Well, I have a week of overnight leave starting next Friday, but someone gets my bed, so it's as good as a discharge anyway.
What do you mean?
You're going to love this. So, if you take a night away overnight, then your stuff gets moved and someone else gets your bed.
Well, what if you need to go back?
You go somewhere else.
Where?
Wherever there's a bed. Devin, I got sectioned in Newcastle, and this hospital in London was the only place that could take me.
I had no idea about any of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. You see why I'm scared?
Definitely. Okay. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I wish someone had told me that 3 months ago. Oh, just smile more, Cal.
Shut up. I mean, you don't need to worry about it, okay? I'm going to fix it. Just give me like an hour and I will call you.
Give you like an hour. Devin, you can't complain again. They're going to have you... Well, I'm going to assume everything's fine and feed my Rose. Good. Yeah.
Hey guys, gals and non-binary pals, how are we doing? It's me, Devin, coming at you from a jaunty angle with slightly messy hair. I'm kind of back. I don't know if I would call this my return to YouTube as such. I don't think I can go back to my old shiny, happy self. I think the Corona Chronicles are over. I just don't see how I can go back to them, because the Devin that you saw in those videos is not the same person as the one sitting in front of you now. Shit happened. I'm different. I'm not apologizing for being myself, but myself is no longer always just sunshine and rainbows. However, throughout all of it, throughout lockdown, throughout all the changes in my life, throughout my auntie's illness, throughout the grief, there has been one constant. My life is different, but it's not all bad.
Hello, world. It's me, Cal, the one who got banned from YouTube. And this is my friend Devin. My friend and flatmate, Devin.
New to YouTube, Devin and the Waifs and Strays. Cal, tell them why you're here.
Well, I was sectioned on the 2nd of March, and you said why here, and I turned. You're the worst.
Carry on.
So, 3 months ago, Devin came racing into my life at the worst possible point, and it wasn't her energy and positivity, her sunshine and rainbows that changed me, no offense. She didn't fix me. She simply gave me a reason to keep living. And that was enough. And now I have a friend. I have a home.
And we're going to build a garden.
Look at this. Ta-da! It's a rose. Anyway, 116 days.
Almost 4 months on the inside. Hospital, not prison. Cal has not been well.
Not just me. We've both been through some rough times, haven't we?
Same storm, different boats.
But we're here. They don't keep you in mental health units until you're better. Not that there ever really is 100% better. They just keep you until you're safe, and then you're out in the wilderness again. I'm not cured.
And I still grieve. Life is not perfect.
But we're here. We're doing it.
That rose was buried for so long, and you found it, and you saved it, and you brought it here, and now we're on the waiting list for an allotment, and we're going to build a garden. So my auntie, she used to sing a lot, and she always used to talk about and sing this song. It's by U2, it's called Stuck in a Moment. It's about suicide. And there's this line in the song which is about this story about a king who asks his advisors to tell him something that will make him happy when he's sad and sad when he's happy. And they told him, "This too shall pass." And it will. The good times won't last forever, but neither will the bad times.
The very darkest times will pass. Life doesn't have to be amazing and perfect and wonderful all the time. You just have to find some good things.
And you hold on to them.